This is an awareness week with the focus on making feminine hygiene products more accessible for Nebraskans.
As 6 News' Taylor Johnson reports, soon more students can worry less about not having what they need.
Aaron and John, more free period products will soon be available in restrooms at Nebraska schools. Advocates tell me it's a step in the right direction.
Period poverty has more negative effects for kids and teens than you may know.
2 in 5 students either have missed class themselves or know someone who's missed class because of lack of access to period supplies.
Access Period is one of the avenues making access possible for students, including at the Teen Center at Burke High School.
Any students at Burke who need access to free period supplies can get a free 3-month kit, a 1-month kit, whatever supplies they need.
LB 1284 passed in the latest legislative session. It approved a $250,000 pilot program for period products in under-resourced schools. It launches in 2025.
Being able to access them at school allows them to be able to continue on with that school day, to be able to show up, to be able to play sports after school.
Having this government assistance opens it up for more help to those in rural areas or lower income.
Knowing that these schools will be able to provide period products for students in the restrooms will take a big burden off of Access Period, so that we're then able to serve all of the other folks in Nebraska that need access to period products.
Access Period is working along the Logier Foundation, bringing more education around menstruation. They're teaming up in June, hosting a screening of the documentary Periodical.
The one thing about this film is to normalize periods and to have that conversation be a natural part of just your human body experience and not have it be so villainized.
The screening of Periodical will be hosted June 6th at Film Streams. It is a free ticketed event, but donations of period products are being accepted in support of Access Period. Information on that event can be found on our website, WOWT.com. On your side in the studio, Taylor Johnson, 6 News.